Everyone's got another run to do.
But someone's got one run to do.
Someone has one run to do, and here is James Deane, last man in the first half of qualifying to take to the track, and he's also the current championship leader. He even missed the first round in Spain, and he's still the championship leader. Wasn't planning on doing a full season of Drift Masters, but he just got so close to the top that he said, here we go. 2 rounds left to go. Can Deane get it done? Fires wide on the edge of the circuit, and Deane is very wide on the edge of the circuit. This is beautiful from James Deane as he transitions back, letting that car move towards the edge of the circuit. Look at that. Absolutely where the judges want him to be. Doesn't drop a wheel over the edge. This is absolutely pinpoint. I don't even know how to describe how perfect that is. Nothing majorly crazy, but from a judging perspective of what they told him to go out and do, that looked like it was it to me.
I think if you're splitting hairs, I reckon he could have gone another 10 centimetres wider on some of the zones. Like the last outside zone, he could have been a little bit wider.
I'll tell you a secret, Ian.
Go on.
That's the first run.
Oh, I thought it was the last run.
That's the safe run.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So James Deane's safe run, those 10 centimetres, have a look on the second run and we'll see where he puts them. But to be honest, I think this is one where James goes, I'm going to put this on the board again. Stays on the handbrake pretty late to keep the car out there. So let's see if we can break this one down. I mean, there's no major errors in this. I mean, at this stage now, we're so used to watching the machine just make everything look easy.
Yeah, he does. Does make it look very easy. Look at that, hardly any braking on a throttle nice and early. Again, another driver that's on throttle early.
Using the left foot brake, getting on the throttle area and then using the left foot brake to adjust the car, which is clever there.
Doesn't go wide here either, which is a massive point on the circuit.
Yeah, a lot of drivers bleeding points there by going too wide towards the wall, but it gets early there, and I mean, there's not much.
I mean, I'm talking,
there's not much to really talk about there in terms of, I mean, you could, of course, you could lose the spoiler on every wall there, but for a first run in qualifying, you can see, look at the laser focus from James Deane. I mean, at this point in time, the man is competing at the highest level on both sides of the Atlantic. He's done more, I would imagine, at this point, battles than anybody in the world this year at this point, because he's so good, he ends up in them all. So I would imagine he is in the zone now. Driving a drift car is actually more natural than driving a regular car probably at this stage. And 94.5 for James Deane, third position. And you know what, I'm inclined to agree, just from the point that just not that madness anywhere, that X factor. You can see on the style, that's really all he lost it on 3 points on style. Are not hearing any agreement from me. I think a 93.5 is absolutely fine.
It's an amazing score. On any other day of the week, it'd be amazing. Yeah. It's not enough to trouble.
Deane, what does Deane need?
So
95.5?
Deane needs it is a 95.5. He needs 1.5 on his first qualifying run to beat Cherba, to get points ahead of everyone else, to try and steal the championship. He's through the gears. Down comes Deane, flicks that S15 in now, starts to work himself through. This is incredible from James Deane. He stayed wider than anyone. This is absolutely textbook. Deane on the foot brake to the wall goes James Deane. Puts that car right where the judges wanted to see it. Now puts the back wheel where the judges wanted to see it. He transitions through. Can he put it right to the edge of the circuit? He can! Across the line goes James Deane, and the championship leader holds one hand in the sky and says, never forget about me.
It's a good, well, you can't forget he's leading the championship. I'll tell you one thing, that's the conversation starter now. Is that a 95.5? It's, yeah. I'll tell you one thing.
Watch it back. Watch it back and tell me, you tell me, Dave.
I'm going to have a good look at this. So first corner, goes wide.
Stays wide.
Yeah. This is the key here. Like that's pretty much perfect there. Does he risk it? Does he have the flare?
Look where the rear wheel is.
The angle's great here. Look, much more angle than the first run. Transitions back. Now watch the rear end of the car. Sits it out. Yeah, perfect to the wall there.
Right, now watch where the front wheel is.
Yeah, that's where it needs to be. Laurie made the mistake there, went a little too tight.
And then he didn't go wide on the wall.
No, he didn't go to the wall, which is...
And then watch James Deane. If we see it, we see it. He is wheel on the white line.
There, yeah. It's a contender. Is it enough to put him? I don't know. Is it enough to put him? I think it's going to be way up there.
Well, it's going to push Cherba out.
Is it going to be top 4? It's got to be. My argument right now is I think it is. I think it's top 4.
Oh, I'm sold.
I think, yeah, if you were to ask me and Ian right now, and we're not judges because we know nothing.
Oh, they took our leaderboard away from us, so we can't even see ahead of anyone else. So we're going to find out when you find out.
I think it's going to be a top 4.
Which means he's automatically going to start clawing points. Here we go, Dave. He's going to drop in.
Oh, it's into the top 4 goes James Deane at the last step of qualifying, and 96 on the board. and James Deane goes third with a 96, which is even more ridiculous. And now we got 4 drivers going into that top 4 showdown. Now, for you guys watching on, wondering what's going on, every driver does their qualifying run, run 1, run 2. The top 4 go head-to-head in a semi-final and a final, just to get extra championship points. For all of the drivers, this is great, except for right now, Laurie Heinen and Dwayne McKeever, who are not in that top 4, and James Deane is, which means that he can end.
I can't say that Vincent won't be on the top step of the podium by the end of tomorrow.
No. I'll tell you what, and now here's 2 guys as well on the star line that are on form this weekend. Kuba Piszczonski, what a qualifying set of runs he's done. James Deane couldn't out-qualify Kuba Piszczonski, so this is James Deane trying to gain points back, but he's going up against a Kuba Piszczonski who's never looked this comfortable at any round I've seen him. He looks like he's got this track dialed. So James Deane's going to have to bring his A game into that first corner now as they come off the line.
Yeah, they certainly are. So they get the thumbs up all around. They wait for the light to go green. Piszczonski's on rails this weekend here in Hungary. Can James Deane derail that train? The Polish train comes off the line, through the gears, down. Deane jumps onto the back bumper, initiates into it, into the door, looks for the side. That GR86 now matches the angle, matches the transition. Deane doesn't want to get too close, too dangerous. Oh, goes for the front wheel, does James Deane. Now starts to apply the pressure to Kuba Piszczonski as they come through the alley. Deane transitions before Piszczonski, but loses a little ground as Piszczonski goes right to the edge of the circuit.
Oh. It's edge of your seat, but you see tandem battles on this track, it is hard to watch.
I forgot how dangerous the twin battles are.
I'll tell you what, Deane tried to do what Vinsec did, but it didn't work. He did it a little too early.
Yeah.
And had to kind of dial some angle out of the car. Kuba looking on rails, I mean, every run.
So consistent.
Kuba set this thing on autopilot, and it's very tough to beat.
It's just driving itself around here.
Watch this, Deane goes for the aggressive transition here, but this transition's quicker from Deane in the chase. Gets right up then, up onto the front. Look at this big dive from James Deane here as he goes up onto the door. But this is where he tries to have that very snappy transition in the chase position. Watch this. Goes very early, earlier than the lead car if I'm not mistaken, at the same time, and then goes up the inside, and now kind of just has to dial a little bit of angle to catch Kuba there. Only place you could probably draw a couple of points away from Deane. Everywhere else was flawless. So now Kuba Piszczonski, who I will say is not known for overly aggressing in the chase position, has to. He's up against the master here, the championship leader, hunting more points in the championship. Deane goes through the gears. Kuba Piszczonski fires in on the door, and he fires in close. Kuba feeling that this could be his weekend, but he goes shallow there, and a very late transition from Kuba. He's going to lose ground, but he fires through, and it's good. From Deane, it's good from Kuba, and they're right up on the door. Contact, I think, between the two as Kuba touches the door. And look at this, oh, big transition from Kuba Piszczonski. Goes late, goes wide, and he's up on the door, and now he's asking questions of James Deane. But Kuba Piszczonski was not there as a camera car in that one. He came to win the battle, and that is a big run from him. Big statement. #1 qualifier, and has put a real question mark on James Deane here. And Laurie Heinen and Dwayne McKeever doing backflips in the paddock. Kuba Piszczonski t-shirts on, Polish hats.
Polish hats.
Yeah, say it.
Flags
Let's
are waving.
Go.
I don't even know.
It's a very close one. There was moments for me where Deane was far more, like here, Deane was better, I think. Kuba then dives in. From here on, Kuba, that first section wasn't as good as Deane for me. The second section was better. That's where I'm at. This dive from Kuba, look at this, straight down, that's very brave. Down the inside.
Down the inside.
But he follows the lead car. He goes with the lead car instead of cutting the track. Oh, but the Deane, to me, on the first half of the course was a little bit better. This is just the qualifying showdown, folks. Tomorrow, it really matters. There's trophies and things for this. And podiums and champagne and do or die. Championships on the line. Join us.
Where you are. It's hard to predict where you are.
So Deane's saying there, it's hard to predict where you are. It's hard to know where you are on the track. I don't doubt it. It's a lot of smoke, a lot of trees, a lot of lights.
I'm not surprised.
Kuba, look at that. Smiles all around. Very happy with his performance. Sorry, Vinsec #1 qualifier, but Piszczonski's sitting very close to that. Let's see what happens here. Oh! Here we go, Kuba Piszczonski gets the win, and James Deane doesn't get as many championship points as he would like. He can still get a ton tomorrow, and this might not matter at all, but that is a big statement.
That's a big statement.
Kuba Piszczonski takes down Deane, revenge for Mondello in the showdown, and that's 2 top 4 qualifying for Kuba Piszczonski in the last couple of rounds.
Yep.
I'm telling you, tomorrow's going to be a tough one. Really tough.
I tell you who's going to be tough for? Our judges.
Yeah.
They got a hard
Good thing
day
we're
in the
not
office.
judged.
Yeah.
Good thing we're cool. And We're going to go down onto the track. James Deane is with Becky Evans, losing out in the showdown as Kuba prepares for the final, but it looks really tough to know where you are on the track out there, Becky. It is knife edge.
Absolutely, Dave. James, it absolutely looks like it's on a knife edge. Coming through outer zone 4 there, it's so easy to get lost, and those transitions timed perfectly, but it's all so close at this point.
Yeah, it's really challenging to go from day practice straight into night battles after qualifying, especially when all your references change. So I, to be honest, didn't fully trust exactly where I was positioned on the track until it was kind of too late. So I was kind of holding myself back and not being free with the car. So it's definitely going to be challenging tomorrow night as well, but that was some great, extra practice, and I'm happy with it.
Any words of wisdom for the drivers as they go into top 32 tomorrow? I mean, what can you say? As the night comes in, it completely changes this place.
Best of luck.
Well, there you go. There you have it, guys. James Deane losing out to Kuba Pryszkonski there. Guys, we've got one more battle of the evening. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, you can't wait, Beck. I don't know how much energy we've got left in this one. We've seen the ups, the downs, the sideways everywhere today, and it's been a great story.
The funniest part of the whole interview from Becky and James was Becky saying to James, any advice? Good luck from
Good
James.
luck.
Good luck, because James is like, I don't know what to do.
You're on your own.
If I don't know what to do, then just try your best, I guess.
James, I'll tell you what, he'd be happy with that. Extra points in the championship for the top 4 in qualifying, a couple of extra points for being in the showdown, and no major damage done to the car, and it's ready to rock and roll for some night practice later on.